Clovis, so much talk about homelessness, and yet very little about the uniqueness of youth homelessness. And so why is it important that we identify the uniqueness of youth homelessness?
I think it's really important for people to understand that for these young people, it is not a choice for them to be on the street. When we talk about young people, we're talking typically 16 to 26, but when you're talking about abuse, physical, sexual, emotional abuse, and it's not when they're 16, it's often much younger than that. So that's what young people have to deal with. Another important factor to consider as well, anywhere from 25% to 40% of the youth that we see are youth who are on the 2S LGBTQ spectrum, which means that these are kids who, for no fault of their own, again, it is not a choice for them, they come out to their families and they end up on the street.
If we could break the line that gets people into this life of homelessness and provide help and hope, what are the elements that 360 Kids is implementing, rolling out to break that pathway?
I think one of the most important things that we have to provide is hope. So to get there, what we've had to do is start with one of the basics. If you're going to provide stability, you need housing. We're so grateful for the support of the United Way to be able to help us be creative in some of our programming. And so this house that we're in is one of those examples, is being able to provide transitional housing for our young people. And then we need to talk about education. You know, we, through partnership with the York Region District School Board, we have a classroom actually in our drop-in center. A lot of people think they're homeless, they're not interested in education. So far from the truth. In fact, in the first 5 years, we've had 60 young people graduate from that program, which means then they're able to actually go on and really break that cycle.
Clovis, as we've walked through the home, we've talked about the range of supports that 360 Kids provides. Just to come back, why is it so important that we work not only on basic immediate needs, but on system issues?
From the recently published point-in-time count, that it talks about how we need to look at the Indigenous population, Black population, who are overrepresented in York Region in the homelessness sector. And so it's those kinds of glaring stats that tells us that we need to address these barriers. And so as an organization, we're certainly serious about looking at what we can do differently from our housing to our programming in general to address these issues. One of the things that we've also seen that's really critical is the voice of young people. We have an amazing youth council with over a dozen youth who are just so fired up, you know, in terms of wanting to be engaged in this. And they've developed a number of projects that are focused on advocacy. So more and more young people have their needs met, not when they're homeless, but earlier.
Clovis, on behalf of all of us at United Way, on our members, our agencies, our donors, thank you. To 360 Kids, to the youth voice, for making this place we love so much better.
Thank you.